What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look for probably the final time at a little title called Adore. I think I've taken a look at this game twice in the past. I think we took a look at it when it first released in early access on Steam, and after having taken a look at that very early version of the game, I think like 4 years later or 3 years later, I checked it out when it was kind of a little bit further along down the trail. And now the game is headed towards 1.0. And so what is that? Another artifact. Apparently you found an ancient rune, boy. When you return to the village, take it to Baldwin and he'll instruct you on how to use it. All right, cool, man. Anyways, this is what I would call an action RPG, where you go into procedurally generated dungeons, you crawl on through, but this game's claim to fame is going to be the fact that it uses a Pokemon-style system, but in real time. So you can see along the bottom of the screen right here, I've got a number of different creatures. I can summon them at any time with the key press that's listed next to that creature, so long as I have enough stamina to summon them. And so you can see they come out and they all do like a different attack, and they all have different speeds, and they all have different disengagement methods, and the goal of the game is to make it through the dungeon without your creatures getting smacked to death, dying, otherwise destroyed, because if they do, you will start taking damage for them, because obviously this being a game about fuzzy, adorable little creatures, they can't let the fuzzy, adorable little creatures die. So I've been playing the game for around about an hour and a half now. Figured I'd bring you on in for some live gameplay for about 25 minutes, let you know what I think about the 1.0 so far, and so far my impressions are actually fairly good of this game. Everything feels really smooth and really tactile. Okay, so apparently there's different types of armor that I'm gonna have to deal with. Oh god, okay, yep, oh god, okay. Wow, that guy was like up in my ass crack. All right, let's go ahead and I didn't expect him to crowd me like that. The creatures on this map are quite a bit more aggressive than the creatures on the last one, so I'm still adjusting to whether or not this is all. I'm gonna pull you out because I don't know what all these attacks look like just yet. So that guy shoots like little lava plumes. Okay, call you back. Come back over here. If you got like your little death ray, by all means, blast away with your little death ray if you want to. I don't know if this circle right here heals me or if it only heals him, but either way, there's two little items. Now, when you deploy in this game to go out to various, I guess, biomes, so there's like mountains, there's like jungles, there's forests, there's stuff like that. When you deploy, the game clearly tells you exactly what you're going to get for any of those adventures, and that's important because this game has a fairly large list of things that are craftable. Everything from relics to foods to upgrades for your pets and your critters. It is all here. Did I just get hit by that? I think I might have. I shouldn't have probably dove into that so far. Your creatures, as you see down at the bottom of the screen, they also level up once they've been deployed to combat enough times. Ow, dude. Stop. Get out of here. Wow, there's creatures everywhere, and they all want the smoke. All right, we'll drop you real fast. This guy's hiding in some lava back there, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to solve that. We're going to take him out like so. Now, there's another trick to the combat in this game that actually I think is the main little kernel of salt that makes the food taste good. In this game, you can also pull back your creatures whenever you want to, and when that green ball right there gets back to your character, it automatically restores the stamina that was reserved for that creature to be out in the field. This gives the game a very good feeling sort of push and pull, especially with the faster monsters that I've been playing around with. So like this little guy right here, I named him Ted. I don't know what his actual, I think his real name was like Mikrob or something, I don't know. They've all got little Pokemon style names that I haven't been paying attention to because my brain just doesn't have the wavelength to remember it all. But this fast little guy right here, dude, it feels so good when you pull off little combos with him. This guy right here is fast, but his swing has a wind up on it, so you gotta kind of get used to the timing. This guy charges the enemy straight on out, so his attack goes off instantly the second you release him from your body. And then this guy, he's got like a little crushing move, but everybody also has a limit break. So as your critters get stronger and as they level up, they'll get this little flame right here around them. That means the next time you summon them, they're gonna do something special, something that really like kicks the tail ass off the enemy. So in the case of this little guy right here, he CCs and frees the enemy in place, and then they take tons of damage from the next thing that hits them while they're frozen. Whereas in the case of like my little squirrel guy right here, he just deals double damage. Just kind of depends. You can teleport anywhere on the map, so the game does have pretty good quality of life, Hades style, where you can sort of do what you want to do when you want to do it. I probably got a little overly aggressive right there. but I'm going to accept it. You go ahead and charge. Oh, no, dude. I need my stamina back. Please give me my stamina back. There we go. Wipe that guy on out. I have found that the developers have chosen very good sound effects for the game, so that little part of my brain that's automatically like, critique the sound. You must critique the sound. It is a major part of the gaming experience. That's what my critic brain sounds like inside my head. Anyways, everything sounds really good in this game. The slashes sound particularly slashy. The coins sound particularly coiny. I don't really have a problem with any of it. There you go. Break that guy's armor. Now that we got the... Oh, that's really going to hurt. I was going to say, I don't know what that guy does, but it seems like it's really going to sting. Pull back over here. Oh my god, there's critters everywhere, dude. Okay, getting crowded a little bit inside these arenas. Let's go ahead and pull on back for a second. If there is a way for you to crush and destroy anything, I highly recommend that you crush and destroy. Luckily, we survived this foray into the mountains, but it was tough. I think we're going to have to do some upgrades around here. The good news is we've picked up a number of items that may help out with that experience. When you're inside of a run, I guess it's a little bit roguelite-y. Like, I don't even know really how... Because this game is not a roguelite. At least it doesn't feel like one to me. Like, yeah, if you go on a run and you die, you kind of get teleported back on out to buy more upgrades and try again. But it honestly feels like more of like an action RPG, adventure RPG to me almost. Very, very difficult to describe, though. This is one of those unique games, I think, that comes along every now and again. At the end of every single run, it's going to collate all your loot. It's going to give you, like, a butcher's bill for everything you did during that run. And then, of course, it's going to be back to town. Here's the town. This is my Shrine of the Adorers. An Adorer is what I am, effectively a druid. And we've got a bunch of different creatures. You can unlock new spaces for your creatures using those crystals that we actually just looted from the last area. All of the resources that you find throughout the game are going to do various things. So let me introduce you to some of the metagame stuff that happens in between runs. So this guy down here is Baldwin, or Balden, I guess. He will allow you to buy artifacts for the gold and the money that you've been picking up while you've been running around. He will also allow you to trade around your resources, so like gold for keys, fragments for gold, and then gold for fragments and fragments for gold. There we go. Every single time you come back from your adventures, he's going to have different artifacts. These artifacts can be slotted into different spots on your character, and then on top of that, you'll also get a thing a little bit later on called runes that will add some more customization. You can upgrade all of these artifacts, so they've got multiple levels, and they require things that you find out in the greater wide game world in order to upgrade these things to make them stronger. So these aren't just something that you have for one run. These are things that you buy. You have them forever, and then from then on, you're going to be working to make them, more satisfying in their usage. So down here, I haven't gotten to the gemstones yet, but you are able to slot gems into these pieces of equipment as well. You can also get traits. There's customization for your monsters. You can interact with that over in the top left-hand corner at the druid bench over here. You can effectively create synergies. These synergies, you basically get elemental motes. You put those elemental motes on your little creatures. Once they have an elemental mote on them, they will get a perk that is of your choosing. Like, it spawns 2 random perks, basically. Once you've got those perks, they've got these little, I guess, chunks for every other creature inside your party. So I put a nature mode on Ted. And so for every creature inside my party that has the nature tag, this right here, Pursuit, will level up. This means that you can dedicate some of your creatures wholeheartedly to one element. You can split it between multiple elements. Like, you can do all kinds of little things with your creatures in order to make them more synergistic and sort of like almost an auto-battler way, I guess. That's where you typically see stuff like that, where like the more creatures of fire type you have, the more bonuses you get. But it looks like this game has borrowed from auto-battlers in an intelligent way to fold in a new mechanic into a real-time active game that I don't think too many of them actually done before. So there you go. This right here is the cooking station. This is a place where you can make consumables that will heal up your critters from various things that you find inside of the dungeon. So right here, we would have a fruit salad. For 15 bucks, the consumable will heal the target for 35% of its maximum health, and then it will give them divine protection, so you can purify a cursed creature. When a creature gets down to 0 HP, they become cursed, and every single time they take a hit, that damage is transferred to you instead of to them. So your critters don't die, they just become more of a risk and more of a liability. This is the expedition menu right here. When you want to go out on adventures, there are varying types of adventures that will allow you to do different things, from gather up crafting materials to level up and personalize your creatures. It's up to you what you want to do. I think right now, stay on the mechanism till it complete. Yeah, I've got some kind of quest to like turn on something. It looks like this quest will give us a healing potion, a chest key, and it'll give us a particle of gator drick. The particles of gator drick are how you tame new critters when you go out into the field. If you don't have one of those, you can't do the taming mini game that allows you to get a new critter with new abilities and whatnot and kind of like change up your roster. We've already got a fast little critter out here. Let's go ahead and hit him hard and fast, drop him quick, create a little bit of breathing room. We do have our particle over here. I'm going to go ahead and grab it. It will give me either health or movement speed. I like movement speed, so I'm going to go for that. If I wanted to tame this guy right here, it looks like I need to be behind him. So the taming minigame necessitates that you get inside the little area that is being indicated, like so. And you got to stay inside of it. We missed that one right there, unfortunately. Taming can be a little bit temperamental in this game. It takes time. Also, if you dodge or whatever, it resets it. So sometimes you're going to have to take a hit. All right. We got 2 of these guys on the field. That's fair. Let's put down the turret right there. Let him do his thing. Turret almost got the little squirrel boy over there, but I need the little squirrel boy to die. He's a liability. He's actually faster than all the other ones. Right here, we may have him. There it is. I think the more wounded they are... Oh, dude, we got Frogma. Look at him. He's like cute. Dude, there's so many little frogs in my backyard right now. I don't know what happened, all right? But there are thousands of frogs in my backyard. No clue. The grass is crawling with frogs. They are everywhere. Last night, I've got like this lattice work that runs above my patio. And like it's covered in sort of like those little soft Christmas lights to give it like a fun feeling in the summertime out there. I went out to hit the button to turn it off the other night. And there's just like a frog like the size of a silver dollar just like chilling on the button like, hey, what's going on, man? They're everywhere right now, seriously. I haven't been able to do yard work or like trim the lawn or anything. There's frogs everywhere, dude, and I don't want to frog blender them all. Frogs know my weakness. I like frogs. I mean, I feel like most boys that grew up, you know, running around the creek and like catching little animals like skinks and bluebellies and stuff like that, all like catching frogs. I enjoy catching frogs still to this day, and I am much older than a young man. I'll probably just smack you right there. I don't have a particle to capture that guy. Otherwise, I would, because his attack is actually fairly oppressive. And I think I could add it to my roster instead of this weird little weasel guy. And he'd probably be able to get more damage off. I'm sort of interested in what Frogma does, too, but haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Let's see if I can freeze this guy. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect. Good little combo right there to get some serious damage off on him. Hit him again. Call you back. Dodge that fireball. The game is very fluid. The dodge feels good. The run feels good. The movement feels good. Honestly, I haven't really found anything about the game that feels bad. In earlier iterations that we played, I know that it could be a little bit clunky to get the creatures to attack what you wanted them to attack, like in earlier builds, like the earliest early access builds. But that problem doesn't seem to exist anymore inside this build. Like the critters are on the enemy like glue. Like they pretty much go after the one you expect them to go after every time, unless they're clumped together really, really tightly. And in that situation, you should probably use an AoE creature instead, right? It said that he had a big... Oh, man. Yep. Okay, yep, we taking damage out here. Can you guys, like, stop? Man, these guys... Yeah, I gotta get these guys into my life. I gotta get a particle and add these guys on in. They're just so oppressive. Like, they follow you. So those guys right there are going to be a huge addition to our party because their attack is actually like borderline busted. Let's go back. It's really hard to get away from considering the entire game is basically these thin corridors. You would need like a circular arena to get away from that attack because you've got to dodge into it and then run backwards and force them to turn. You can't really do that inside these little hallways. That is one thing I would say, is that the arenas could be widened out quite a bit. From what I've played in an hour and a half, almost every single level seems to be like a thin little tube like this. It doesn't seem to be... I mean, there are ones that are a little bit wider than others, but I would have liked to have seen the game kind of open up some of the arenas a little bit and add a few more points of interest, I guess, to break things apart and make them feel more unique. Still, this is a fairly minor observation. It's not really that important. Let's see what I can do with these frogs here. I'm going to put down a turret right there. And these guys can do what they're gonna do. I don't know if that little pool healed me right there. I wasn't watching my HP. Next time I'll watch my HP when I go inside. Got these guys right here. Unfortunately, they keep standing on their own lava. So I'm looking for openings right here, but it's tough to find them without lighting my squirrel on fire. And I think that lighting squirrels on fire is probably generally looked down upon in polite society. I don't know. Have you been lighting squirrels on fire lately? Honestly, I find that having like a policy of wiping out enemies as fast as possible, like using your opener basically to wipe out like 3 enemies at a time, tends to be the best way to buy yourself some breathing room. Is that thing gonna go out if I come back down here? Yeah, maybe you just kind of like relax for a second. All right, so we lit those right there, and now we got to activate this one. I'm just going to put some critters on him right now to see if we can OTK that first one that comes out. Hit him a little bit. There we go. Perfect. That's going to be our level. And there's our healing potion so that we can heal ourselves on up. I was going to try to capture some more creatures here today, but I didn't have any particles left, so I think I'm going to have to go farm some particles. Then we'll come back out here to the mountains and see if we can't get a few more enemies. Breaking pots and pans and things, and just clap your hands and all that kind of noise, just in case you're like Glenn Beck inclined. Just in case you're inclined to the Beck life. They do drop coins. They do drop goodies. Things do come out of, what is that right there? You can create a synergy with mystical creatures. Nice. Okay. I don't know if what are you? I want to look at Frogma. He's got an adorable portrait where he looks cranky, and it makes me happy. That one also looks super foofy. Like I want to scratch the side of its cheekies, bro. That thing right there, I bet that's a critter right there that likes a good cheeky scratch. Frogma looks kind of cranky. Spits magma projectiles in every attack. The impact of each projectile creates a lava puddle. If you recall Frogma, the attacks disappear. Okay. I guess it sort of depends. I've been keeping Twinkles in here because Twinkles is cute, but also Twinkles gives me synergy. So it's been kind of like a tough slide. I suppose Wilbert is kind of disposable. I haven't tried out Chuck yet either, though. We'll take the frog for now. Okay. He does exactly what you expect him to do. It doesn't look like my own lava harms me, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright, so here is the rune tree. We just unlocked that on the last run. This is where you get runes, and you can put them on your Adorer in order to make him more powerful. And so you've got 20, 40, 60 health right there that we can play around with. And then it looks like you can also... Oh, it uses up the points up there. Gotcha. So you can unlock more power points. And if you have more power points, it's just like an FTL. All right? You can power up your runes the same way you power up your life support. Or the same way that you power up, let's call it like your weapons. The game does have a storyline. I've been mostly skipping it for the purposes of like running around inside of here, just so you can see some gameplay along the way. But oh, we're actually like fighting Ixer. Gotcha. I actually would like to catch some more creatures first before we do that. This gives me a pearl and a feather, and I think I need a feather, and I also need a particle. So it might be good to just do like a little... Oh, look at that little guinea pig with horns right there, dude. It's like a little weaponized guinea pig, dude. It's like a guinea pig that's like less of a loser. It's like a Winnie pig. All right, we'll go get this guy right here. I'm going to try to capture that guy once we get our particle. I don't know if I'm going to get my particle in here or like what, but I'm going to try. All right. Is that all the enemies for here, or do we still have like more of them to mess with? Probably a couple more up inside this room right here would be my guess. Put the frog down, I guess. That was actually pretty effective. It basically just stun-locked the guy down and murdered him. Alright, good to know. I need you to, like, not be inside the lava here. that would be the ideal resolution anyways. But it seems like there's a fair amount of customization in this game. Like, it looks like there's a lot of things to fiddle around with. It looks like there's a lot of things to toy around with. It looks like almost everything from the creatures to the main character to like the artifacts that you pick up. Every little bit of it appears to have like one or two things that you can attach to it, or even more systems to add a little bit more customizability. And that in combination with the fact that I think they've kind of got the combat dialed in here, at least in my opinion anyway. Yeah, go get him. I need like a... he's still spinning, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to cap off of him. Nope. Man, we taking damage right now, too. I need his little capture zone to rotate around. There we go. Oh, no, dude, we lost it. No, I don't want you. You're the worst. Ooh, another little enemy jumped in right there and tried to take out my doodles. All right. Now we'll try to... Oh, I got to get behind him somehow. I'm just going to take those hits because I want him, and it looks like we caught Kruth. All right, well, we'll play around with Kruth in a little bit for now. I think I'm about done taking damage trying to capture a critter out here. Go ahead and give him a little bit of lava right there. Let him feel it. Oh, that guy burrows, huh? And then he's got, like, other little things that he does. Gotcha. Looks like the lava actually does stay on the ground, even though it said that it didn't when I called him back. So maybe it's just the projectiles in the air. You can't, like, spam them or whatever. They have to hit the ground first and create the pool in order to be effective. I think we're done with this map right here. Yeah, we'll just teleport to the door over there. I love that feature, so I don't have to run around. I would like to see a mini-map, though, oddly enough. I don't know why there's not, like, a mini-map. You would guess that, like, a mini-map to me would be more useful than all these keys down here. But there's no mini-map. Suppose that's just life and the way she goes. I should probably check the options and make sure there's not some way to, like, activate a mini-map out here. Yeah, light him on fire. There we go. It seems like his principal weakness is, like, ranged attacks. Like, you can't really scuffle with him in melee just because, like, he hits like a truck. But... there we go. Get that magic shield off of him. I do like the idea that there's physical creatures and magical creatures too, and they burst the shield of the opposite type. That is not to say, though, the first time I fought an enemy that had a shield, I didn't have any creatures that were magical. You can still get through the shield. It just takes a little while with physical damage. Where are we going right now? We're going that way. We got to be close to done with this dungeon. We picked up most of the loot. Where are these critters at? I want to check out that wolf guy too. Where's he coming up at? Yeah, put the frog down, I guess. Oh, the frog does like a little lava stomp. Gotcha. I guess we'll just break it the old-fashioned way. He's not letting this go easy. Am I healing? I don't know. There's like a green misty mist. And it had like a little... oh, my other creatures get healed inside of there. Good to know. Now I know. And knowing appears to be half the battle. Go ahead and light them up with some lava. Perfect. Looks like we still have more rooms to plumb, though. What did I get in here? Did I get anything good? I keep hitting tab to go to the map, but tab does not open the map in this game. But yeah, this is a door. This is pretty much from what the developers have told me. This is basically a beta test for the 1.0. So if you have the game inside your Steam inventory right now, and you wanted to check out what is more than likely going to be kind of the way the 1.0 feels when it comes out, now would be the time to do it. I don't really have any large particular complaints about the game. The narrative is nothing complicated, I think, is the main thing that stood out to me. Like, this is not a game that's going to give you, like, Game of Thrones as a storyline, but it does set the stage enough to be like, all right, dude, you're the servant of a giant dragon nature god. He's been defeated by some creature that's taken over as, like, the new crappy nature god that nobody likes, and so you're trying to help the old nature god, like, get his groove back so that he can come back and fight with the guy, and that's, like, fine by me, dude. That works. Other than that, the combat feels fluid. The sound effects feel like they were intelligently selected, in my opinion. They've all got like a nice tactile, clicky-clunky feeling to them that makes everything feel like it has impact, it has weight. Simple things like the walk cycle and the way that your character traverses across the world map, they feel good and in line. I can't tell you how many times characters feel slidey in games that I'm testing out for the channel because the walk cycle hasn't been synced up with the actual scroll of the map while you're moving. So the movement speed and the movement animation, they didn't take the time to like sync it up. This game, they did. It feels like there's a lot of customization in here and a lot of things you can do with your creatures in order to create a battle force that truly represents you as a player and the things that you like, whether it be the aggression of fire or the CC ability of frost or, you know, your ability to move quickly and strike without an element. It seems like it's all here. So if you're a fan of things like, honestly, what this game kind of reminded me of is a much more in-depth version of the PlayStation 1 Digimon game, which was playing around kind of with an idea like this back in the day too, where you weren't in turn-based combat, your creature followed you around and you would do various buttons to make him do various attacks. This game seems to have taken that and made it a lot more fluid, and so seems like a pretty solid game to me. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what is worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, we were fooling around with a title called Adore. Tomorrow we'll be fooling around with something else. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. Feel free to slide through my Discord and my Twitch stream and let me know how you're feeling about it. But other than that, I think it's time for me to go. Bye, folks.